Hello YouTube, this is Donna and today is April 20th, 2018 and this is my alopecia update. Um, I started my reversing my alopecia videos a couple months ago, and I had been investigating a lot of different treatments, natural treatments that people were using, a lot of medical treatments that people were using, and I also looked into hair transplant to see if possibly that was an option for me in the distant future, not now, but it was something that me and my wife had discussed, and after things for our home were done, it was something that we would consider me possibly getting um, a hair transplant surgery. So I started my videos, and with those videos I started using different natural oils such as Jamaican black castor oil, emu oil, um, black seed oil, peppermint oil. I've used Rogaine for men. My doctor told me don't use the women. It's not strong enough and it may not help me. I'm sorry. Here comes one. What am I doing? I'm in the middle of something. I'll see you up front. And don't go in my room, okay? Go up front. No toys. No, no, no. Don't mess with anything. I'm sorry. Oops. I'm hiding. I am like seriously hiding, but they see this bright light and they know that I'm back here. Go up in the house, please. Okay, yeah, because I'm out in the garage. I'm not in the house, and they come find me wherever I am. Okay, so once again, I went to the dermatologist. Oh, no, I was talking about the different oils and things that I had used for my head. I bought a derm roller, and I used to roll that sucker. Well, I still do. Roll that sucker over my head over and over again, trying to see if I can get my hair to grow. So, I've been seeing my doctor for some medical issues that I've been having, and she sent me to a dermatologist. Now, the thing with the dermatologist is that I've been trying to see a dermatologist since I had my third daughter, which is about almost 14 years ago, when I initially started having the hair loss. And I've asked to see a dermatologist, and they told me that it was not medical, and if I wanted to see a dermatologist, that I would have to pay for it myself. And being a mother, almost a single mother of 3 little girls, working, trying to take care of them, I wasn't financially able to pay for a dermatologist myself, so I let it go. I wore weaves, I wore braids, I wore hats, whatever I could do to cover it up. I would cut it short and try and fix the hair so that we could cover where the hair loss was at until I couldn't cover it anymore. And then I went back to wearing weaves for years. I just wore weaves, and after some tragic events that happened in my life, I was showering one day, and the little voice in my head said, shave it off. You're tired of it. You don't want to get it done. Shave it off. And I got out the shower. I grabbed my son's clippers and I shaved my head bald. And I stood in the mirror and I felt the weight of the world lifting off my shoulders. From the moment I started cutting to the end, it felt like a release of weight that I had been carrying around for years. So I didn't tell anybody that I was shaving my head. I didn't even know myself until I was in the middle of it. So I shaved my head and I sent a picture to my wife. And then I posted a picture on Facebook. I think I told my sister, like my family first, and then I posted a picture. And it was a little scary for me because of a friend of mine who had breast cancer and had lost her hair. And I felt guilty, even though I didn't have any control of my hair falling out. I felt guilty about shaving my hair because I didn't want people to think that I was sick or that I was imitating what was going on with her, or I was doing it because I didn't want any of that. But what I was going through, I shaved my head. So, fast forward 13, almost 14 years later, I'm having some other medical issues, and my doctor immediately, like within a week of just some emails back and forth, sends me to a dermatologist that she couldn't send me to 14 years ago. It wasn't her, it was a different doctor, but they could not send me to 14 years ago because it wasn't medically necessary. So they sent me today. He called me Monday and he was like, they called I talked to her last week. The dermatologist called me Monday and asked me, when can you come in? I said, when do you have an appointment? He said, Friday at 8:45. I said, I'll be there. Excuse me. Yeah. So, this morning, I am laying in bed, and my sister calls me, and she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, laying here. And she's like, oh, I have jury duty. What are you doing today? And ding, it was 8 o'clock. I remembered, oh crap, I have to be at the dermatologist. So I jump in the shower, get dressed, and head over towards the dermatologist. So I get to the dermatologist at maybe 9 o'clock. My appointment was at 8:45. I get there at 9 o'clock, and she tells me to take a seat, that she'll call up to the doctor's office. Well, she called up to the doctor's office, and she told me to take a seat. When they call back, she'll let me know either they'll see me or not. So I was like, okay, not a problem. So I go and I sit down, and I grab myself a soy coffee, a coffee with soy. And I sit there and I wait patiently. So she called me back over about 5-10 minutes later, and she says, well, the doctor say he'll see you, but he'll see you in between people who already have appointments. And I'm like, cool, I don't have anywhere to go today. I'll sit there until he's ready to see me. So I go upstairs, I sit down, and within 10 minutes, I'm called to the back. And they say, okay, undress. And I ask her, okay, undress as far as what? And she says, down to your underclothes. So I undress, I sit there, it takes him a little while to come in. I don't care. I was just glad to see the dermatologist. So I'm sitting there and he comes back. And sometimes with Kaiser, well, back in the day, I'm not going to say now because I haven't had this happen in years, but they used to come in quickly, leave quickly, and that used to bother me so much. That's why I would never get Kaiser for so many years. So he comes in and he says, well, what's going on? And I tell him about the medical issues that I've been having, and he sits down and he writes me out a little plan. I'm not going to share that because that does not have anything to do with, but he took his time and he physically sat and wrote out a plan for me as far as what we're going to do with my medical issues. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, oh God, I wish I could talk to him. But the lady who checked me in the morning said, tell him about your other issues, and because you're here already, he can say, okay, you can have another appointment. So he says, do you have any other issues? And I said, well, it doesn't have anything to do with why I'm here. I said, I have issues with hair loss, and I haven't been able to come in and see a dermatologist. So he says, well, let me see. So I lean forward, and I'll lean forward for you guys and let you see. And I let him take a look at my scalp so he can analyze it. And he looks at it, and he says, okay, you have central scarring alopecia. Now, 13 years ago, when I was seen by my primary physician, I was told that I have alopecia, which is hair loss, but there was no name given to it. And at that time, she told me that it was alopecia hair loss. She was like, take prenatal vitamins. Um, Later on, years down the line, they told me to use men's Rogaine and, you know, other things that I've done on my own to try to get my hair to grow. So I've also um, looked into having hair implants done. I've looked into that. I've priced it. I've talked to them. I've had evaluations to see about me having it, and they asked me, does your doctor say it's okay for you to have the hair transplants? Will it work for you? And I'm like, why wouldn't it work for me? They're doing hair transplants. They'll take healthy hair from here, they'll put it up here, I'll have hair again. What's the big deal? So I'm talking to my doctor today, and I don't have his name here, but I'm not going to share his name anyway. He's a Kaiser, not Redondo Beach, Torrance? Not sure. So I'm not good with streets. It's off the 110 anyway. So I'm talking to him, and he says, you can't have transplants. And he said it will not work. He said you have scarring alopecia, which means the hair follicles are gone. Anywhere where there's smoothness and there's no hair follicles and there's these bald spots that I've had for years. You see there? That's smooth. Like a lot of the places, and even where the hair is, there's a lot of smooth areas around the hairs. He says that hair will never grow back. You have scarring alopecia, which means the hair follicles are gone. There's just scar tissue there. There's no hair to grow there. And the fact that there's scar tissue there, you cannot take a healthy hair and transplant it into a scar. It will not grow. So, although I've been battling this for the last 13 years, today I received the final word. And I believe it's the final word because I've prayed. I've prayed for this hair. I've prayed for this hair. I've used every oil, cream, medicine that I could get my hands on for this hair, and my hair does not grow in these areas. So today I received the final answer. Central scarring alopecia is what I have, and it's caused by chemicals that I've had put on my hair over the years. And he said chemicals, but I believe it's the chemicals on top of the braiding. When I was younger, I thought that my hair needed to be straight for people to be able, because my hair was so thick that I felt like I had to perm my hair in order for people to be able to braid it, so that they wouldn't complain that my hair was so thick. How naive of me. I didn't understand. And I'd never had anyone tell me that our hair was good enough. You know, I've had chemicals in my hair since I was 5 years old. So no one's ever said that my hair was good enough as it was. So I would put a fresh perm on my hair the day before I would get braids that would burn so bad on my scalp. And I would just wait for the braids to loosen up, not knowing that my hair was being torn from my scalp. The hair was already compromised because I had put this lye on my head to straighten the hairs, and then on top of the chemicals, I would get my hair braided. And I believe that because of the way that the scarring is, I would get the braids from here down and back, and then I would get like a ponytail. I would get different stuff, but that was like the main place that I was so rough with my poor head. This is the main place that I would get the braids. So my thought is, with those chemicals and the braids, here too. And then while I was going through the alopecia, I would braid my own hair up around the edges with the hair that I had, and I'd do like really small parts in here so that it would fill up this space and be able to pull the braids up in ponytails to cover up the spaces that I have the alopecia, adding to what trauma had already been happening to my hair. So the final thoughts are that this is who I am. I feel absolutely beautiful as a bald head black woman. I don't need any hair to be happy. I don't need any hair to be me. I don't need any hair to be free of the judgment. I don't care what anyone thinks about it. I wish it could be different, but this is my reality. But I love me this way. I've never felt more beautiful in my entire life. I've never felt more beautiful as a young black woman as I feel now, with my bald head that has scarring that will never grow hair. Never. And I am beautiful this way. And I'm happy this way. And I hope that anyone that's going through this have been given that diagnosis of it will never go back, that you are able to accept it. If you need to keep fighting, child, keep fighting. Keep fighting. And if you find something out that worked, child, let me know. Because I ain't saying that if there was a way for me to figure out for these hairs to grow back that I wouldn't do it. But I'm saying I am beautiful. You know my name is Beautiful Black One. I had to say it until I believed it. I believe it now. I know it now. I see it now. I see her. I see this beautiful black woman. All in her boldness, in her blindness, in her lazy eyedness, in her braced faceness, in the moles in my face, in all of it, in the overweightness, everything. I see her and she is beautiful to me. She is beautiful to me in all that is flawed about me. She is absolutely beautiful to me. I love her. I adore this beautiful black woman. I adore her. I love her. And nobody could take that away from me. And if I never grow another piece of hair on my head, I am beautiful as I stand. All right, YouTube. I just had to give that message to myself, y'all. I had to give myself that message and just let myself know that you're beautiful. You're a beautiful black woman. Don't take offense to the word black. It's BLAQ and it means exactly what BLACK. Beautiful black woman. She's beautiful. She's happy. She's free. She has been through so much and she's come out the other end strong black woman. And she's happy. And I'm happy for her. And I love you, Miss Donna Denise Morris. Remember to be a beautiful day, YouTube. Bye-bye.